All right, you guys. If you missed the halftime decode that we did, if you missed it live, the shorter copyrighted edited version is now back up. The unedited version is on ODYSEE, and I put a link to that in the pinned comment of the edited version. I know it's a little bit confusing, but basically they took us down, blocked worldwide, even though I played the halftime show at half speed and I played it without sound. They blocked it worldwide. Then what happens is YouTube gives you the option to remove the content. There's like an editor. So I did that, but that takes like 3 to 4 hours for that to kick in. And then it was put back up. Thanks for the sound check, you guys. So, over the last 48 hours, our channel has come under attack. I've had 20 copyright violations from old videos that I've done, going back years, in 2 days. Something has changed with the algorithms. Now, again, YouTube gives you the option of removing that content, so I've done that, but just know that any one of those copyright violations could turn into a strike, which would take the channel down. So make sure and subscribe to the backup channels, and that's where we'll be if we lose this channel. I have another backup channel that has 60-something thousand subscribers. Many of you are subscribed there. So don't panic. We're not going anywhere if something happens. We have 2 or 3 other channels that we can jump onto if we lose this one. Now, you're probably a little bit confused about today's show because it was supposed to be about what's happened to the children, or there's something wrong with the children. I can't remember the title of the movie, but we were going to decode that today. But then as I started putting the show together, I realized that there's so much follow-up stuff we need to go over before we get into movie decodes again. There's a lot happening, you guys. A lot of breaking news that we need to break down the spiritual aspects of, right? We live in a material world and a spiritual world. And it's great, all the channels that cover the facts of things and the physical, material world, but we look at the spiritual aspects, don't we? So it's a little bit different. So today's show will be a Super Bowl halftime follow-up. We're also going to look at the most recent balloon sightings. And at the end of the show, we're going to discuss U2, the spy plane Foo Fighter deception that is going to dovetail in with their upcoming concert series at the MSG Vegas Sphere. Literally about 20 minutes ago, I saw that the Vegas Sphere is the Perisphere from the 1939 World's Fair. Tomorrowland. It's all happening again. There's nothing new under the sun. Now, tomorrow will be the Ohio train derailment, and the day after that, we will finally get into the movie There's Something Wrong with the Children. Now, do not panic, because we are now being told that UFOs are being shot down around the world. And this is all the beginnings of the Great Deception, in my opinion. God already revealed this to us in 2017, didn't he? With the 99 red balloons and Metallica's all nightmare long music video that we decoded in 2017 that showed that all this was going to happen. And remember, after the first one was spotted, after the first Chinese balloon was spotted, I told you guys, this won't be the last of them. And I said, wouldn't it be crazy if there were 99 balloons? And as the days transpired over the last several weeks since that first balloon, look at what's happened. Now, I'm not a prophet. I don't want people to put me on a prophet pedestal, because that's not what I am. Because all of us on this channel work together trying to stay in the spirit of the Lord, trying to stay in the Holy Spirit without even trying to predict anything. You never hear me on this channel saying, oh, on this date this is going to happen, or on that date that's going to happen. We just stay in the will of the Lord, and he reveals these things to us before they happen. Because right now, it's happening. They're saying cylindrical objects are popping up all over the place. They are now saying there are some octagonal objects popping up all over the place. And of course, Trump's Space Force is conveniently positioned, perfectly put in place, just before Biden took office to set the stage for this deception. And I remember telling you that as well when the Space Force was passed. I said this is the beginning of the UFO deception. And I firmly believe at some point they will announce that they have counted 99 of these objects. I'm almost certain of it. Now, what else is going on in the world? Well, here are the octagonal and cylindrical reports of these objects. You can see this. One of them was shot over White Horse, Yukon. This is the very place where Trump's family got their family fortune. White Horse, Yukon. And all these world leaders are saying, you know, they're like the heroes now to the sleep people, right? To the sleep people, they're heroes, but not to us. We know what's going on. And it makes it look like this is from the movie Independence Day or something. An alien threat, and our fighters are up there shooting it down. You guys, Independence Day is happening right now as we speak. Well, when did that movie come out? 2012? Unbelievable. What we know about the search for the two flying objects shot down over Yukon and near Ontario. So, here we are. Break out Will Smith. Put him in a fighter jet. Shooting down these UFOs. And at some point, there may be a mass blue beam object appear in the sky, like they've been programming us for the last several decades. Now, again, there's no need for fear. Do not be afraid. This is all part of the deception. We've been talking about this, not just us. Many channels have been talking about this for decades, that this was coming. Now, this could be a precursor to a much wider deception. This could start to go away for a bit and then come back in full force. Or this could lead straight into the Great Deception. Good morning, everybody. Next, we're going to get into a follow-up on young people dying of heart attacks. They're now admitting that young, healthy people are dying of heart attacks, fulfilling the biblical prophecy that men's hearts will fail them out of fear. This is it, you guys. It's go time. Everything we've all been working for on this channel is happening right now. All the work that all of you have sent in. Probably half of you in this chat right now have sent things into this channel that has helped us break all this down. Look at this headline. Now, I wanted to report on this when it broke, but so much stuff has happened. Since COVID, more young people are dying of heart attacks. Here's what we know. They're blaming it on COVID. The waters have now been officially muddied. Nothing is clear anymore about what's happening. And the interesting thing, I left a comment down here. They're starting to open up the comments now under these videos, but they are highly censored. Look at all the comments, almost 5,000 comments. And all you see are hundreds and hundreds of comments censored out of existence. Now, in this particular one, they talk about this athlete was diagnosed with myocarditis, but she didn't have a heart attack. So your mind basically wants to say, oh, and they're saying she didn't get a smack the nation, is what they're saying here. They're like, she didn't get a smaccination and she still has myocarditis. So your mind automatically associates the two together, right? Nothing to worry about. So a lot of these comments are censored out. Carefully crafted article here to make you dismiss any claims that people might make about the cause of this. Because according to them, the cause is COVID. Wow. Now, we're next going to revisit the Rihanna Super Bowl halftime show. And I wanted to do a follow-up and kind of focus on this with you guys, because many of you said that the dancers looked like the little fishy. I'm not going to say the word because it's probably a trigger word. Sometimes they seed in this stuff, pun intended, right, to get channels taken down, right? I know this for a fact. Several of my friends have stepped into the traps. And I'm like, hey, you might not want to cover that way, but it's too late. So we'll call them the little fishies, okay? And some of you said they look like little fishies. Now, originally I thought they looked like earless rabbits, and they kind of do. But you might be right about them looking like the little fishies. Now, I don't know the source of that discovery. It was probably another YouTube channel, so my apologies for not giving credit. And please give the credit of where you heard that these are little fishies in the chat right now, so that channel can get credit, because I think they were over the target. Because this is a Woody Allen movie from 1973 called Everything You Wanted to Know About Sex. And here you see Woody Allen, and he's actually dressed as a little fishy in that movie. And he looks a lot like these dancers. Look at how the top of the hood comes across here. Now again, another channel probably discovered this. Good job. Or maybe it was all of you that just discovered it. But this definitely looks a lot like these dancers and the people and Woody Allen dressed up as a little fishy. Weird, right? Now, oddly, there is also a scene with rabbits in the movie called Everything You Need to Know About Sex. So, we thought they were earless rabbits. Here's the snapshot here. Guess there's a scene in there with a bunch of rabbits. But regardless, the assertion that this was a fertility ritual is still reinforced, because essentially these two things are almost synonymous, aren't they? Highly reproductive rabbits and little fishies that are obviously reproductive. So, very neat observation, everyone. Good job. And to the channel who made the association that this in fact was a fertility ritual, good job to you as well. Here's some more screenshots of Inanna, which is Ishtar, which is Easter, which is rabbits, which is fertility, and her dancers who look like they're from the film. Here's a good close-up. Let's get this one. Now, many of you also noticed that her stomach could be another red balloon. So good job on that as well. Now, let me go back in the chat, and then we're going to talk a little bit about the Ohio train derailment. Now, like I said, we're going to do a full show on that tomorrow. We talked a little bit about it on yesterday's show. But this thing is shaping up to be some kind of disaster. Many are calling it the American Chernobyl. There are already hints of some kind of cover-up. Why did they light the thing on fire? And in the movie White Noise, there was a train derailment. And it just so happens that that movie was filmed in this area, East Palestine. Now it's pronounced Palestine. It looks like Palestine, but it's pronounced Palestine. And the place where this occurred is right on the border of Ohio and Pennsylvania, like literally within miles of the border. And even the residents there are freaking out about this, about the similarities to the movie. Now, in the movie White Noise, they mention that deja vu is a side effect of the toxic gases. Well, as we discovered in the movie decode that we did for the movie Deja Vu with Denzel Washington, he had deja vu into the future, didn't he? He saw Claire in the future. So, the movie White Noise is gaslighting. Now, we're going to get into a full... I'm actually rewatching White Noise, collecting more screenshots to prove that they knew what was going to happen. We'll go over those clips tomorrow. Compare White Noise to the actual Ohio train derailment. But I'm going to leave you with this scene from My Pet Goat 2. If you're not looking at your screen, you're going to want to look at it right now. Because this snapshot from I Pet Goat 2, which released in 2012, a 7-minute animated film, we had decoded this image in the background as Chernobyl. But as we also know, in I Pet Goat 2, many of these images are nested realities. Events occurring within events. Events repeating that are very similar to one another. Nothing new under the sun. So, this is Chernobyl, but it also appears to be a bunch of stacked, derailed train cars. With the fallout and toxic skies. Now, I did a side-by-side. I'm going to zoom it up. And there you see the train cars stacked up with the fire. And there you see the train cars stacked up with the explosive fire and the plume and toxic cloud. You've all seen the pictures of the toxic cloud that is spreading across the Northeast, covering hundreds of miles. Let's zoom in on some of these images that look a bit like train cars, given everything that's happened. Now, they're not piled on the ground, but remember, I Pet Goat 2, this is just I can't even believe what I'm looking at. They're actually trying to say there is no measurable pollution from this thing. Welcome to the Matrix, you guys. Welcome to the Matrix. Now, here's another update on the U2 Super Bowl ad that we decoded. Remember that? It was about their upcoming Acton Baby concert series at the Vegas Sphere. Now, what is the Vegas Sphere? It's the largest spherical building in the world. Let's pull this over here. Here's what it's going to look like when it's done. You guys, all this hit me about an hour ago. I was feverishly putting together my show notes to present this to you, rearranging the shows. This is the sphere where they'll be performing. It's called the U2 UV concert series. We'll get into what UV means, ultraviolet, Project Bluebeam. It's all happening right now. On your left is the 1939 World's Fair, Perisphere, and Trilon. And they're essentially recreating that in Las Vegas with the pedestrian walkway, matching the pedestrian walkway. Who knows? This looks like a black cube next to it, which will probably end up being the Trilon, which is the giant needle next to the sphere, which is the womb. This is the needle in the womb. The umbrella in the womb. The cane of the umbrella piercing the womb. I hope you guys are awake. I really do. Now, this U2 matrix goes very deep, because the military is saying that it was United States U-2 spy planes that were used to photograph the Chinese balloons, the Chinese red balloons. Welcome to the Twilight Zone. Now, the concert will be a throwback to their Achtung Baby 1991 tour. Achtung means attention in German. And this is a throwback to their tour from 1991, which was 22 years ago. So what you'll notice is 19 and 91 are mirror numbers of the number 19. 22 is a double number. Now, the sphere isn't done being built yet. Look at this graphic here. There's the Achtung Baby inside the sphere. So I looked at this sphere, and there's something really weird about it. Now, it's not done being built yet. It's 366 feet high. Cost $1.66 billion to build. And it is 157 meters wide. All the numbers we've been talking about. It's going to have an internal wrap-around screen. Much like the experience that people had at the 1939 World's Fair, Perisphere. Let's look that up. Inside the Perisphere. You can't make this up. You can't stretch it. Everything we've been covering on the channel, and it's happening right now. This is the image people saw when they went into the Perisphere in 1939. They walked around this concourse. They could see down onto this scale model called the City of Tomorrow. At this World's Fair, the Trump family had a billboard called the World of Tomorrow with an RX symbol in it. On the walls were movie murals. Do not panic. Be saved today. Give your life to Jesus Christ. Repent. And He will see us through these startling times. Now, let's go back to this here. Look at this. Now, the structure will have a monorail and large pedestrian footbridge, as you see in the picture here. It's in the Wikipedia article. The completed project will look like this: monorail and footbridge. And this concert apparently had the word UV in the title of it. Let's find that here. Sorry, I'm jumping around a bit. Like I said, I just put all this together within the last couple hours. Here's the ultraviolet song, which is what they're referencing in the title, the U2UV concert series at the MSG Sphere. And I was like, what's this about? Now here's where things get really weird. Because in some of the concerts in which they perform this song, Ultraviolet, Bono is singing into a red halo, a red crown. And he's singing into it, and all these lasers are shooting out. Let's look that up. We got to look that up. Song, Mike U2. I have to show this to you. This is unbelievable. They were talking about this crown all the way back in 1991 as Bono was singing into this microphone. Lasers shooting out from him. You can find the video right here on YouTube. The coronal crown. Him in the dark. Look, he's got it and he's singing into it. Look at this, is unbelievable. Here's one with the lasers. Now, in the Wikipedia article for this, they start talking about spiritual aspects to all this. And they claim, let's go back to this here. They claim that this song is about Job from the Bible. And how God had a lamp upon Job's head as he walked through the darkness. But then they also give a different explanation for the song. This is the song Ultraviolet, Light My Way. They give new age type of, explanations for the song. And I believe what this is about is they're basically programming people with the false light programming. They even talk about the black light in here. The black light, which has to be the false light. Ultraviolet. This is the future. And no doubt this will be part of the deception. Ultraviolet, Project Bluebeam, all of this will be happening and people will believe it. There's Bono in his crown singing Ultraviolet with lasers popping out into the crowd. Unbelievable. Now, in a couple days, we'll get into this decode. It's kind of hard to remember the title of this film. There's something wrong with the children or something like that. And it's about these children who fall into a pit and turn into a locust army. This woman, they try to make the rabid queen, they call her. Everything we've been talking about, you guys. Rabies, zombie apocalypse, the whole thing. So that will decode in a couple days, but tomorrow we're going to get into this Ohio train derailment that happened 70 days after the movie White Noise released, and the Ohio train derailment had 70 emergency agencies working on it. I'm going to go back into the chat. Those are the updates keep you guys current so that you know what's happening in this crazy matrix. Okay, I'm gonna chat. We'll do a little Q&A. I might have missed some stuff. Please give your feedback and input, and I'll try my best as soon as this chat catches up to address everything. Black light makes the jab glow. Wow. Kayla's birthday today. Happy birthday. Gosh, I guess it's Lupercalia today. But listen, my birthday is on the 88th day of the year. I think God gives us these birthdays so that when we're awake to all this stuff, it helps to confirm everything that's happening, doesn't it? This is all about, your intent, your intentions. If you're working for the dark side, these become occult days. If you're working for the good side, God and Jesus, then it just wakens you up to the matrix. So these are like confirmations, right? Bowie's song of V-Day Massacre. 70 weeks. Many of you are mentioning the 70 satanic kings, 70 good kings. White noise is all about it. Yes, we're going to do a deep dive on that tomorrow. 101 Dalmatians has 99 puppies. Oh, wow. U2, City of Blinding Lights. Veil is being pulled back. Yes, I know it's the S word, not fish. It's just, I don't know how YouTube feels about us saying that word, especially if you say it 15 times in a live show. So you got to watch out for traps. Seen many of my friends walk right into some of these traps. You start reporting on stuff that they've seeded into the news, and boom, you're gone. All right, 70 virgins. Wow. Oh, cool. Same birthday. Gosh, we weren't born. I was born in 73, Flossie. Very cool. I share birthdays with at least some of you. I've talked to some of you that we share birthdays. Oh, someone's in the wrong chat. Thanks, Bassie Sitch, letting us know that. All right. Yeah, very close. We're just 3 years apart. Casey, give my parents a shout out for their 51st anniversary. Amen to that. Wow. Gosh. I admire people who can stay married their whole life like that. Guess I'm still looking for my other half. More difficult than you might think. About 50 cars, 70 days later. Yeah. Crazy times. Acta means danger. Yes. Or attention. Alien contact. Review Inland Empire. It is interspersed with rabbits. My first anniversary is today. Awesome, Ted. Right on. Good man. I'm going to see you soon. You're coming out to see me, right? Do some fishing. Bonfire. Have a good time. All right. Joe says 2 marriages is all I can handle in this lifetime. Yeah, I was married twice too. Maybe 3 times is a charm. Who knows? Super Bowl birthing ritual. Antichrist on deck. I agree, Crystal, 100%. It's all about to be revealed. Yes, Palestine, they pronounce it as the Ohio town. Some people are seeing birds flying chaotically. Now, there are reports of animals dying, people getting sick. You don't hear really the mainstream media reporting on that. I don't know where you're going to find that stuff. Maybe on Facebook and people's personal stories. I'm sure we're in for another round of censorship as we move into these last days. If you're a bad picker, you're a bad picker. Yeah, started to think that myself. White noise. Belsy wants to go fishing. Yeah, I mean, if you guys are, within a few hours drive of where I'm at, I would love to go fishing with you, and I'll go to your spot. I want someone to take me fishing so I can learn new spots too, Trout actually aren't that hard to catch, but you got to know where they're at. And so that's the trick to trout fishing. All right, Regina, congratulations, married 41 years with him for 45. Good job. Good job, good job. Married 33 years. He had a change of mind. Oh, boy. And he picked 33 years. Wow. The Tourist Viva's in Wales. Right on. I don't know where that is, but oh, you're talking the UK? Alabama. I don't want to drive too far. My truck's old. Starting to get a funny smell out of it, and it's kind of losing a little bit of, not a lot, but I'm burning some, what do you call it? Coolant. I don't see any leaks. There's no leaks. But, I don't know, we'll see. Belts kind of smell or something. Trout are picky. Yes, they are. Someone told me use shrimp. Cocktail shrimp. Maybe I'll try that. But then you get to the thing where you're like, okay, do I really want to use a shrimp for bait, or do I want to eat the shrimp? I guess it's unclean, right? But fish on, fisher of men. Yes. That's why I love fishing. Oh, Bill says head gasket. Yeah, but I don't have any loss of compression. Nothing weird's going on. Yeah, water pump would be leaking though, right? And I don't see anything leaking, so water pump. Water. A lot of people saying water pump, but usually water pump. I've had those go out and they start leaking right before they go out. I don't see anything on the ground. Gaskets. Oh boy, head gasket fix is like $1,000. But okay, if it's a head gasket, you're gonna see stuff coming out of the tailpipe, right? You're gonna smell something. I don't smell anything. Everything's normal. No water coming out of the tailpipe. Cool. Replace the cap right away. All right. Okay. Yeah, it drips first. Heater core. Good morning. Good morning, Renee. Good morning, Troy. Trevor. All right, you guys. Well, guess we'll pop off of here. I love you guys. And I will see you tomorrow. And we're going to get into this Ohio train derailment. Take care and be safe, everybody.